What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're gonna be analyzing RQ versus Evos Legend. So this is an El Clasico, alright? The rivalry between these two teams in MPL Indo is huge. It is like pretty much the NXP versus Execration of MPL Indo, but without the toxicity and trash talk. Pretty much. That's pretty much it. This is just pure professionalism and sportsmanship between the two teams. They're good friends with each other, even the coaches with Zace and James. Why did I choose game number 3? Because this is the deciding game for the series, so that's why I chose game number 3. I thought that the game number 1 was actually pretty interesting because RQ actually pulled out a Mia, but we're gonna look at this game number 3, okay? First things first, let's look at the bans. For RRQ side, they ban Angela, they ban Yuzhong, that is a combo right there, and they ban Barrett's as well. I don't think Barrett's is out in MPL PH yet, because it takes 2 weeks for the patch to go into professional play in MPL PH. Alright, so MPL PH is different from MPL Indo, right? The rules are a little bit different. So when the patch comes out, it takes 2 weeks for that patch to actually get integrated in MPL PH, except for the Project Next patch. That was the only exception, okay? There's no point in playing the previous patch when the Project Next patch is already there. So let's look at the other bans for Evos. Khalid ban, Roger ban, who is a very prioritized core right now, and Hylos ban. I'm not really sure why they ban Hylos. I don't know. I'm pretty confused about this. Maybe they just wanted to open up a slot or a hero. So they ended up first picking the Uranus. Super good first pick. Uranus is something that is prioritized, even more prioritized than Esmeralda in my opinion. Because even if Esmeralda bullies you early game, late game, you're better than Esmeralda late game as a Uranus, okay? You will out-sustain her, and you will do more damage whenever your first skill stacks 4 times. It does a shit ton of damage. Evos, they wanted to kind of counter this Uranus with the Esmeralda, because every time Uranus uses second skill, right, Uranus gets a shield and then Esmeralda eats it up. So that's why Esmeralda is actually good against Uranus, but it's harder in the later stages of the game. It's pretty much going to be a stalemate in most cases, alright? Nobody's going to win lane. They're just going to wave clear each other, and whoever gets more ganks, they win the lane, okay? But here we go. Ruby's also picked by Evos, something that is prioritized right now in the current patch. I've been telling you guys this in the previous analysis as well. For the other side, RQ picked Jawhead. This is most likely going to be a Jawhead tank. He's just going to throw the buff over and over again, and they are free to get the Ling actually, alright? Why are they free to get the Ling? Because Khalid is banned and Jawhead is already chosen, alright? So that's why RQ, it feels like RQ was comfortable in getting the Ling. Usually when there's like a Jawhead or when there's a Khalid, it's really hard to play Ling because they will invade your early game. That's why I think RQ was comfortable enough to pick this Ling on this first phase draft. Also, Roger's banned. Usually Roger's pretty good against Ling, I would say, because he's a pretty tanky core, but since he's banned, I think Ling is the next best option. There's still Yi Shin for Evos, so let's see what they will pick next. Okay, they didn't pick the Jawhead, they haven't locked it in. They ended up going Baxia instead. Sorry about that. So they didn't lock it in, they stick with the Ling. Not really sure why they stick with the Ling. They ended up giving the Jawhead instead of getting it. Baxia counters Esmeralda, obviously, so that's why they picked it. I don't know what made them change their minds to go from Jawhead to Baxia. I mean, it's still a good pick nevertheless, but it's gonna be a little bit harder here for Ling to finish off this blue buff with the Jawhead that's gonna keep throwing his buff over and over again. Alright, so that's why I think Evos are gonna take this Jawhead, okay? Baxia is not so bad. It still counters Esmeralda and Ruby, alright? These are both sustained heroes that Baxia counters, by the way. They just need to make sure that this Ling secures the blue buff, and I think they're good. Selena's gonna get banned for the side of RQ. Xborg gets banned right here since Xborg counters Esmeralda due to the true damage. Not really sure why they banned the Yi Shin. Maybe they don't want to do Yi Shin like gold lane for RQ. Not sure why, but I mean, these guys most likely scrimmage each other, right? Most likely, or I mean, they've scrimmaged other teams that kind of share information. I don't know. But Yi Shin is banned here, even though they have a Ling already. So they expected like a gold Ling Yi Shin for RQ, for Evos. Okay, so they banned Valier here. I would say Valier is really good because Valier could actually counter Uranus. Okay, Valier could counter Uranus with Necklace of Durance. Same thing with Baxia, right? You just push Baxia, you have Necklace of Durance, and you could actually melt down Baxia really well. The slow, the stun is pretty good. So that is a good ban for our Q side as well. Let's see what Evos will pick here. Alright, it looks like they're gonna be picking this Farsa. So why the Farsa? They still need a support, and since Selena is banned, they cannot do Selena support. So they're stuck with the Farsa support since Valier got banned as well. Alright, so that is good. So what James tried doing is they banned the supports knowing that they don't have a support yet, so they're stuck with this Farsa pick. Okay, so that's pretty good. They're not really worried about a Farsa, because I think Ling is actually pretty good against Farsa since the gap closer and the chase potential with Ling is really good. So that's fine with me. And then whenever Farsa ults, she is stationary. And Baxia is also good against Farsa, by the way, guys. Baxia is also good against Farsa. And you might be asking why. When you do first skill with Baxia, you can actually cancel Farsa bird form. After she gets stuck, she's done for. Alright? So that's why Baxia is so good against Farsa. And the gap closer, alright? When you do the rolling wheel when she ults, and then Baxia goes for the stun, she just jumps over the minions or jumps over enemy heroes, and then she cancels the Farsa ulti. So that's why. That's why RQ wanted to force this Farsa pick. So let's see here, what will RQ pick? They picked the Eudora and Lunox. Alright, now this is something different. I feel like this Lunox might go to gold lane because he needs more gold compared to Uranus, I would say. Because late game Lunox really fucking hurts. And then Lemon obviously with the Eudora support. The Eudora support right now is actually so underrated. I've only seen RQ pull it off or use it. But it's a very underrated pick. Very, very underrated pick. Let's say Farsa ults, right? And she's stationary. Eudora could just flicker in, second skill, ulti, and then first skill. She's stationary, so she gets hit by the 2 ultis that comes down, right? So that's why Eudora is actually good here. And plus, if she has the AoE stun, Farsa could get hit by that with the Electroconductor, right? As for Lunox, Lunox is actually really good against Esme, because Lunox is like a marksman, but he's a mage. It's so weird. His DPS is really, really high. That's why he's able to burst down the Esme if need be, alright? So that's what I mean. Hellcurt is actually a pretty decent pick here, especially against Ling, because you're not going to be able to dash over and over again, especially if you get Petrified Silence. This Hellcurt looks like he's going to go mid though. It's like a jungle Hellcurt with Retri. Alright, so it looks like Uranus is obviously going to solo, and instead of Uranus going into EXP lane, they actually put Lunox in EXP lane, which is, I mean, not bad as well. Faster level 4, I guess. It's not so bad. I thought Lunox was going to go gold lane, but they put her on EXP lane. But it looks like there is 2 people here. This is a different rotation. This is not a 1-3-1 rotation that we usually see, right? So this is something different from both teams. Same right here. Baxia is kind of on the EXP side of the map. It's only Ling and Eudora here at mid lane. They know that they don't have the early game, especially at level 1. Eudora and Ling level 1, super weak. So I think they are aware of that, and they're gonna end up playing this really passive because they know they have a Jawhead and Farsa on the other side. Right here, I think they wanted to put 2 people here because Uranus might cut, or they just want to bait out this Uranus. Let's check it out. See, they're hiding in the bush. Uranus is not aware. See, this is really good from Evos. Uranus is not aware that they're over there. Let's see what happens here. See, I told you guys, they're gonna play passive, right? They're playing passive. Here we go. Okay, now Uranus knows they're here. He's doing a 2v1. Oh, this is like what Execration tried doing. No, it's different. Okay, so what Execration tried doing is they put their core on the EXP lane for the first wave and then rotate to blue and then mid. But this guy, he started gold lane instead of EXP lane. Let's see what the rotation is here. Baxia is just holding the red buff, I think, or just giving vision on the red buff because they know they have a Jawhead. But this Lunox is doing a 1v1 against Ruby. Lunox is really good against Ruby, by the way, because Lunox has burst potential. So actually this is like a hidden counter for Ruby, I would say. Every time there's a Ruby, try to pick Lunox off lane. It's actually so good because you just hit first skill and you out sustain Ruby as long as there's minions around it. Alright, so it looks like Baxia was doing the red with second skill, right? Baxia was doing the red with second skill, and then he held it for Ling to last hit. Hellcurt actually went from gold lane over here to the small minion here, small green camp, into the red buff. This Jawhead is trying to give vision, but he's not gonna be resetting. I'm surprised he's not trying to reset the blue buff here. Not really sure why, but he stole it anyways. He just counter jungled. So instead of invading this, he just counter jungled and stole one of Ling's green camp. And here we see Uranus actually doing a pretty good job here, making sure that this Hellcurt doesn't get the red buff. And he already resetted it, so he successfully did his job already. And there's minions coming in. What R7's gonna do, he's most likely just gonna cut the minions here and then keep track of the red buff so that Hellcurt cannot get it. So RRQ is already in an advantage because Ling has got both buffs while Hellcurt has no buffs at all at this point. So I don't know what kind of Evos rotation that was. Not really sure what was supposed to happen there. The only advantage that Evos got, I would say, is Jawhead, I guess. Jawhead counter jungling, that's about it. I don't think it's worth it. Here we go. And we see Ling also trying to secure this as well. Oh, and Ling actually stole it too. Look at this. Wow, what a nice early game from RRQ. They're even gonna steal this red buff. Oh man, this Hellcurt is gonna be so fucked. This is not gonna look good. And then Baxia is gonna be here to spam the Esmeralda with second skill. He's not gonna be able to shield as much. There it is, it hits, boom, dead. Okay, barely. Alright, red buff gets reset. Nice throw from Jawhead. Very nice revitalize from Vin though. Very well played. Yeah, RQ's playing this really well right now. Knowing that Ling and Eudora were gonna lose early game here at mid, and they're not even gonna get the litho. They didn't prioritize the litho, by the way, because the litho is really not that important. As long as your core secures both buffs, I think you're good to go. And what Baxia tried doing is he did the red first and then gave it to Ling. Well played from RQ. This is something new that I've never seen before, okay? Baxia is such a good pick here. And I think they made the right choice in going Baxia instead of Jawhead, by the way. Against Farsa, Esme, and Ruby, they forced the Farsa pick on the second phase, and Evos already picked Esme and Ruby. Such a good draft from James. Ban 2 supports to force the Farsa pick. Here we go, Uranus bullying this Hellcurt again. I don't know, this Hellcurt's struggling right now. Hellcurt's really struggling right now. 0-2, no buffs taking it from Hellcurt. Yeah, I think they snowball from here, because if you think about it... Oh, nice! Nice save! Nice save from Baxia, oh my god. I cannot believe it. Very nice save. That guy's dead. I thought Uranus was dead. Only 1 second skill of Esme and he was gonna die, but very nice save from Baxia. They're already ahead with Ling, Lunox, they're all late game heroes. Uranus is a late game hero. Also with Eudora is a late game hero. This is not looking good for Evos. They're just gonna scale a lot faster. They're already 3,000 gold ahead. And look at that burst. Look at that burst. Eudora stunned Esme and then they just bursted it with this Lunox. Like I said earlier, right? Lunox is actually really good against Esme because she has the potential to burst with Dark Form. Not a lot of mages can do that. Maybe Gusion, but the problem is with Gusion, if you fuck up the combo, you're screwed. Whereas Lunox, he's kind of like brain dead hero. You Dark Form in, you just spam your skills. Whereas Gusion, you need to hit your skill shots. Here we go, we have a Uranus going against this Ruby. I'm pretty sure Uranus should win that matchup as well. This is why Uranus keeps getting banned still. And Baxia trying to invade, but there's 3 people there. So finally, Hellcurt gets a buff. Finally. For that blue buff, Ling had a free turtle, alright? For that blue buff. Because Hellcurt had to use Retribution to secure that blue buff. So good trade. Global gold for blue buff. That is already a good trade for RQ. It doesn't even matter if they didn't get the blue buff. Oh my. Okay, so Baxia finally gets bursted. But here goes the Ling with the cleanup. Why? Don't get thrown in. Here goes the Uranus. Here goes a 1v1 Lunox. See? Oh, okay. Nice flicker from Ruby to get away from that. Lemon's here. Wave clear, push top lane, get a first tier tower. Alright, and now, since Uranus is here at mid, Baxia knows to rotate to bot lane. Actually, Baxia could also off lane, by the way, guys. Baxia is able to offlane, especially if he's against Uranus or Esme. The early game that we saw, the early game rotation that we saw is definitely not something that we've seen before. So they both did like a 2-2-1 rotation instead of like a 1-3-1. Not really sure what Evos was trying to do. Kind of confused about the strategy there. If you guys know anything about it as to why, or if you guys have any valid reason as to why Hellcurt started gold lane, please comment down below. Yeah, Lunox is so underrated as an offlaner as well. I cannot believe not a lot of people use it. I think Zaz side lane is also underrated that people could actually use. Gold lane, Zaz gold lane. And look at that burst. I said earlier, right? Whenever Farsa ultis, Eudora is free to flicker in and burst. Right here, you're gonna see Farsa ulti. Right there, right? Farsa ulted, and then Eudora's like, oh, screw this guy, bro. Screw this, he's trying to kill my Baxia. Nope. Look at that flicker, stun, easy kill from Eudora. Alright, here we go. Baxia gets invested in. Look at how many skills they had to throw for Baxia to get killed. That is not a good start for Evos. Let's see if they can trade. RQ can trade this, definitely. Look at that. They threw everything on Baxia, meaning that these guys could clean up. And double kill for Lemon. This Eudora definitely... Oy, the disrespect, bro, from R7 showing them what's up. That's right. Showing them what's up, brother. And actually, R7 built a Dominance Eyes. That is something that's also I haven't seen before. I mean, I've seen it before, but I don't know if he built that first. Maybe second item after Enchanted Talisman? Or he does like Mana Boots and then Dominance Eyes. Maybe that's what he does. I'm not sure. We'll see his build after the game. Hopefully. Here we go. We see Hellcurt ult in. Hellcurt is so behind. He cannot even help. This Jawhead can't do shit. This Jawhead is only good for throwing people or throwing buffs. Wow, very well played so far. Esmeralda screwed 0-4-2, 0-2-3 with the Hellcurt, and I think RQ just snowballs from here. They just got outdrafted. Seriously, this is such a good draft from James. Usually, like, Zace drafts really good too. Zace is like notorious for being one of the best coaches in MPL Indos as well. Okay, let's look at the build. Oh, okay, so Uranus went for a Dominance Ice first build, and then he's gonna go for Enchanted Talisman next. So instead of going for Enchanted Talisman first build, he went for Dominance Ice first because he knows that he doesn't want to get bursted by Hellcurt, and he could probably sustain the Ruby and the Esmeralda, so he's not really worried about that. The only thing I'm worried about with this build is you run out of mana really quickly, even with support emblem. I've tried it. Eudora actually built Magic Pen Boots instead of Mana Boots. Lunox built Mana Boots with Enchanted Talisman because Enchanted Talisman actually gives you cooldown, and that gives you magic penetration for Lunox, so that's good. Curse Helmet for Baxia, that's good. And this is the build for Ling, normal. That's pretty normal. This is pretty normal. That's pretty normal. This is normal too, and that's normal. Okay, so let's see who gets a turtle here. Okay, Evos finally get an objective. Hellcurt is forced to ulti though, and they get traded. Their core is dead again. Very nice flicker hook from Ruby. But I don't think it's enough. I just think that RQ's too fed for this. Too fed, alright? Lunox had to purify away. They killed the core and they killed the Jawhead for a turtle, and they're still gonna be able to push this. This Esmeralda is gonna get bursted by Ling. Here we go. Very well played. Yeah, they just snowball from here. This is GG. I just don't see Evos coming back from this as long as RQ plays it correctly. Yeah, because these guys have the better late game if you think about it. For example, if Hellcurt tries going in, so Hellcurt could actually pick one of the 3 heroes that he could burst out. Hellcurt tries to go for Lunox, Lunox has Light Form. Hellcurt tries to go for Ling, Ling has ulti to get away. Hellcurt tries to go for Eudora, Eudora has fucking stun and can probably one-shot you. So it's like really hard to play Hellcurt here, so I'm not really sure about the Hellcurt pick. I think the Yi Sun pick could have been better than Hellcurt, but Hellcurt is so hard to play here. Definitely so hard. Hellcurt is not gonna go for Uranus. Hellcurt is not gonna go for Baxia, too tanky. I think he's just gonna try to cut lane at this point. And Baxia might have seen him. Let's see. Oh, he's seen him. He's seen him. Look. He's seen him. Oh, you're so screwed, bro. You're so screwed, bro. Oh, Beyblade. Oh my god, Evos 1, you have nowhere to go. Ay! Pucha na yan, oh. GG. Evos 1. Yeah, I think they just gave the game away. This should be GG. I don't know. I guess this game was one-sided compared to the other 2 games, right? The first game Evos won, and then the second game RQ won, and then this game it was a one-sided RQ stomp. The first game it was like a Mia mid. It was a Mia core at mid for RQ, and it didn't work. They actually lost, and that is GG. Jesus. Wow. Jesus, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, definitely new rotation from RQ with the... Oh, let your tank do the red buff first. We clear mid, let your tank do the red buff first, and then I last hit it with the Ling, and then go to the blue buff right away. You save the retribution for the blue buff, and then secure the red buff with your auto attack. Alright, so that is another, I guess, alternate rotation that you guys could do. You guys could try it out. Especially if you have a Ling. If you have a core at mid that is very weak early game, you could try that rotation. I feel like that it would work with that. But if you have a strong core or that has the power to wave clear really fast, then you don't need to do that rotation. But since Ling needs to get his buffs, then I think that's what RQ did. They did really good. I'm really not sure why Evos did not use the Jawhead to reset the blue buff and stuff like that. I think they were too scared of Lemon's burst, or level 2, I would say. And it's hard for them to invade. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. If this was MPLPH, this Jawhead would just be throwing the blue buff over and over again. Or even the red buff, honestly. But all he did was, he counter jungled the small green camp near the mid lane, and that's it. He didn't do anything else to pressure early game. So I feel like Evos could have done better with the Jawhead pick here. I didn't really feel the Jawhead at all the whole game. The Esmeralda was getting fucked by Lunox and by Uranus. So same with Ruby. Both offlaners lost their lanes actually for Evos, because the matchup for their offlaner right here, no matter where you put these guys, they will still do good no matter who they go against. No matter who they go against, these guys would still do good, or decent at least, against Ruby and Esme. So just overall, just a good draft just to make his players comfortable for James. Jesus Christ. I can't give any much more respect for James after analyzing all like a lot of RQ games, but this is something else, honestly. This is something else. Jesus Christ. Alright, so tell me what you guys think about it on the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys did learn something. I guess new rotation for a weak early game heroes. And that will be it. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to hit the bell button so you guys have notification whenever I post some more analysis. Alright, MPL PH and MPL Indo, we do both. Alright, thank you guys, I'm out. Peace.